How's it going, guys? TacTixHD here with my NHL 2014 Stanley Cup playoff predictions. So, as you guys can see, right here's a graphic laying out exactly what my predictions are. Big shout out to BackGrenade1 for giving me this graphic template. So, anyway, guys, without further ado, in the first matchup, we have Colorado against Minnesota. This should be a really good matchup, and I think Colorado's going to take this one. Simply put, guys, they have better goaltending, and I think they have a lot more forward depth. Minnesota's a good team. Both their goalies are injured, so they're going with either Brizgalov or Kumper. And then Colorado has a couple injuries, too. Tyson Barrie might have a concussion. Matt Duchene, though, he's injured right now. He's supposed to be back in the next week or two. If they can get Duchene back in the lineup mid first round, couple games, that'll be a huge boost for them. Even without Duchene, though, I think Colorado's a better team overall and will take that series. Next matchup, guys, we have St. Louis against Chicago. This would have been a great series to watch. You know, I thought these teams probably would have finished 1-2 in the West, but St. Louis has had a lot of injuries. They have like 3 fourth-line players on their second line right now, because they have so many injuries. So apparently they're getting TJ Oshie back for the playoffs, but that's still not enough. They still have so many injuries. And Chicago also without Taze and Kane, but both are supposed to be back for Game 1 of the playoffs. So if Taze and Kane are both back for Game 1, that's not going to look good for St. Louis. And if that's the case, I think Chicago, with all their playoff experience and just being the dynasty that they are, is definitely going to take that series. Next, guys, we have Anaheim against Dallas. First time Dallas has been to the playoffs in a while, and obviously it's going to be great to watch Sagan and Ben, but I think Anaheim's going to get the better of them. Anaheim's got a bit more veteran, a bit more playoffs experience. I think Hiller's playing really good right now. Obviously, Getzlaf and Perry are both having great years. Solani's going to be wanting that cup bad, so I think it's going to be a good series, but I think Anaheim's going to take it. And finally, guys, the last matchup in the West, we have San Jose against LA. Battle of California there. Two very even teams. It's going to be a really close matchup. I think LA is going to take that one. I think that both teams are pretty even on forward and defense, but I think Quick's a better goaltender. I think that's going to give them the edge they need to take San Jose. Next, guys, in the East, first round here, we have Boston against Detroit. As you guys can see, I'm taking the dark horse there. Taking Detroit. I'm hoping number 8 seed Detroit can take out number 1 seed Boston. Obviously, I'm a Detroit fan, so I'm a bit biased, guys, and obviously these predictions are like half what I think, half what I want, and we beat Boston a couple weeks ago. Boston's actually lost a few games in the last couple of weeks. You know, they're a little over 500 opposed to the rest of the year when they've been quite, winning most of their games. So maybe there's a little bit of room there. Detroit can find something and hopefully exploit it. But like I was saying, guys, there's a chance Detroit could win, but more than anything, I just want them to win. So, you can't really bet against your team. That's why I'm taking the Red Wings. In the next matchup, guys, we have Tampa Bay against Montreal. This should be a really good series. These two teams are actually the most similar in terms of statistics. I think Tampa Bay finished with like 1 more point than Montreal, so I think they had the same amount of wins. Tampa Bay had an extra overtime loss, so this would have also been a great series to watch, but Tampa Bay's Ben Bishop's out right now with an injury, and I don't think he's going to be back for the first round of the playoffs, so that's a huge loss to Tampa Bay. I don't think Lindback's going to be able to stand on his head in this series and hold them in there for against Montreal. So, even though Stamkos is probably going to put up some goals, Carey Price is a really good goaltender. He's not going to let Stamkos walk all over him. Probably let 1 or 2 in, but that's about it. So I think Montreal is going to take that series. In the third matchup here, guys, we have Pittsburgh against Columbus. Really feel bad for Columbus. I think the last time Columbus was in the playoffs, or the only time they were in the playoffs, they went up against Detroit first round. Detroit swept them and I think went on to win the cup. And now they're going up against the Penguins, who have the best player in the world, Sidney Crosby. And even without Malkin, I think the Penguins can get it done. As long as Fleury plays decent, like he doesn't have to play great. If he plays decent, doesn't shit the bed, and obviously Crosby and the rest of the Penguins, I think we'll be able to pull out that win against Columbus. Columbus is a pretty good team. They've, made the playoffs here, which is a good accomplishment, but I don't think they're at the Pittsburgh Penguin level yet, so have Pittsburgh taking that series. And then finally, guys, the last quarterfinal matchup in the East, we have New York Rangers against Philadelphia Flyers. This should be a great series to watch, going back to the 2010 Winter Classic, where they both played, and different teams now, but still a pretty good rivalry there. And it's going to be a really close one, probably go down to about 7 games. And I have New York taking this one again. Playoffs, guys, is all about the goaltending, and I think Henrik Lundqvist is a much better goaltender than Mason or Emery. Mason possibly injured too, I heard. Even if he's not, I think the goaltending is huge there, and New York's going to take that one. So our first semifinal matchup, guys, in the West, we have Colorado against Chicago. Huge series here. It'll be really fun to watch. We have Colorado, who kind of like the new kids. Colorado's been in the playoffs a few years ago, but that core hasn't seen much playoff experience. And they're going at Chicago, who's, arguably a dynasty. It'll be a great series to watch. I think that one could go to 7 games, but I have Chicago taking it. Just, that playoff experience, Taze and Kane. That's a tough team to beat, but should be great series to watch. The second semifinal matchup, guys, we have Anaheim against LA. This is LA's second California battle again. And this is going to be a really good series as well. 2 very even teams. And again, it's going to come down to goaltending. I think Jonathan Quick is a little bit better than Jonas Hiller. The defenses are pretty similar. The offense is also pretty similar. I think LA is going to have a really good year. I don't know what it is. I have a feeling LA is going to have a good year, and that's what I'm kind of going with here. Going with my gut, taking LA over Anaheim. Our first matchup in the semifinals of the East, guys, we have Detroit against Montreal, a little original 6 matchup there. So I think Detroit's going to take that one. It's going to be a really good series again. Carey Price, obviously, I say an outstanding goaltender, but I think by that time Zetterberg should be back. Zetterberg's supposed to be back in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So if he can come back a little bit earlier, even if he's back by the 2-week mark and Detroit makes it to round 2, he should be back. Huge boost for the Red Wings, and I think with the playoff experience of their veterans, their young guys can get it together. I think the Red Wings can take out the Canadiens. And the second matchup, guys, of these semifinals in the East, we have the Penguins against the Rangers. Another very good series to watch. This one's gonna be really good to watch. If the Penguins take out the Columbus, and that means Fleury's playing at least decent. And if that's the case, I think with Crosby there, Malkin, Leg Zetterberg should be back by that second round of the playoffs. That'd be huge for the Penguins. And I think they'll just give them too much offense for the Rangers to handle, and they'll move on to the conference finals. So in the West, guys, I have the Chicago Blackhawks and the LA Kings playing the conference finals. I have the LA Kings winning that one. Again, that's going to be such a close series. Probably going to go down to 7 games. And I think the reason the LA Kings are going to win, Quick's a better goalie than Crawford, and it's really hard to make it to Stanley Cup Finals 2 years in a row. So just kind of the odds playing against the Blackhawks there. And like I said, guys, I had a feeling about LA, so I'm going to go with it and take them to win the Western Conference and go to the Stanley Cup Finals. And the East, guys, Detroit against Pittsburgh. We got a double rematch, I guess, of 2008-2009. And if Detroit beats Boston, guys, I honestly feel that they can snowball and just go all the way and win this thing. And they have the talent with the veterans and the young kids playing as good as they are. And it's going to be a great series to watch with Detroit and Pittsburgh. Obviously, Detroit's going to have to shut down Crosby. And hopefully, they can put some in on Fleury and move on to the Stanley Cup Final. So in the Stanley Cup Finals, guys, I have LA against Detroit. Like I said, LA is the team that I just had a feeling about. I think they're going to do good in these playoffs, and Detroit's my favorite team. So this is going to be a really good series to watch. Obviously, LA does have the goalie advantage. The defense, LA's probably got a slight advantage, but Detroit's young kids are playing pretty well, so we'll see how they do in the playoffs. And the offense, I think Detroit's got a bit of an advantage with Datsuk and Zetterberg, as well as just Nyquist, Tatar, and all the kids playing great. So, like I was saying, guys, if Detroit wins that first matchup against Boston, I think they can honestly snowball and go all the way and win this thing. If Boston beats Detroit, then, I think I'll have the same exact predictions, but Boston will be here instead of Detroit. So, anyway, guys, like I was saying, Detroit's my team. Can't bet against them. I'm going to have Detroit winning the Stanley Cup. So, that'd be great to see, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, guys, before I end this video, I just want to say these predictions are just for fun. I know it's not going to be exactly like this. I know if I didn't pick your team, you're going to be upset. You just got to understand, guys, it's for fun. And this is what I hope/think will happen. Also, guys, I did an EA simulation of the playoffs to see what EA would said. So if you want to see what the results of that were, there'll be an annotation in the outro. Besides that, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, even if I didn't pick your team. If you did, please like the video, guys. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day, guys. Stay tuned for more. Goodbye.
It's the kind of beat that go.